Outbreak: a sudden start of something unwelcome, such as a disease or severe weather. The local authorities are preparing for a potential tornado outbreak this weekend. Strait: a narrow passage of water connecting two seas or large areas of water. Tensions escalated after the government announced the closure of the strategic strait. Divert: to cause someone or something to change course. The pilot had to divert the flight to a nearby airport due to a security concern. Cockpit: the compartment for the pilot and crew in an aircraft. Investigators are analyzing the audio recordings recovered from the cockpit. Standoff: a situation in which neither side in a fight or argument can win or give in. The military standoff near the border continues as negotiations remain stalled. Blockade: an act of sealing off a place to prevent goods or people from entering or leaving. The ongoing blockade has caused a significant shortage of essential supplies. Memorabilia: objects kept or collected because of their historical interest. A rare piece of ocean liner memorabilia was sold for a record-breaking price. Astronomical: relating to astronomy or an extremely large amount. The cost of repairing the storm damage is expected to be astronomical. Playoff: a game or series of games played to determine a champion. Fans are excited as the basketball playoff season begins this week. Heartfelt: sincere and deeply felt. The community sent a heartfelt message of support to the victims of the disaster. Devastation: great destruction or damage. Aerial photos showed the full scale of devastation caused by the massive twister. Heartland: the central or most important part of a region. A series of powerful storms swept through the American heartland yesterday. Twister: a tornado. The local nursing home was severely damaged after a twister touched down, spawning, producing, or generating something, often in large numbers. The cold front is spawning dozens of potential storms across the region, ramping, increasing the level or intensity of something. Security measures are ramping up ahead of the international summit. Meteorologist: an expert in the study of weather. The meteorologist warned residents to stay indoors during the severe weather alert. Consecutive: following each other continuously. The city has experienced record-breaking heat for 5 consecutive days. Backing: support or help, or in this context, extending a time frame. By backing up the timeline, experts identified when the threat first emerged. Sub-freezing: below the freezing point of water. Commuters were met with sub-freezing temperatures early this morning. Whiplash: a sudden change in direction or situation. The market experienced a bit of economic whiplash after the sudden policy change. Tarmac: the paved area at an airport. Passengers were kept on the tarmac for hours while the plane was inspected. Fuselage: the main body of an aircraft. Engineers found a small crack in the fuselage during a routine safety check. Sequential: following in a logical order or sequence. The device emitted a sequential beeping sound that alerted the crew. Diversion: the action of turning something aside from its course. The flight diversion was necessary to ensure the safety of everyone on board. Squad: a small group of people organized for a task. The bomb squad arrived quickly to inspect the suspicious package. Explosive: able or likely to shatter violently, or a tense situation. Officials are worried about the explosive situation developing in the border region. Showdown: a final test or confrontation that settles a dispute. The two political rivals are heading for a final showdown in the upcoming election. Reimposing: applying a rule or restriction again. The government is considering reimposing travel restrictions to control the spread. Blackmail: the action of demanding money or cooperation through threats. The president stated that the nation would not give in to international blackmail. Frantic: wild or distraught with fear or anxiety. The frantic passengers tried to contact their families during the emergency. Pleading: making an emotional or earnest appeal. The crew was pleading for assistance as their ship came under fire. Reasserting: confirming or emphasizing the existence of something again. The Navy is reasserting its control over the disputed international waters. Gunboats: small armed warships. Reports indicated that several gunboats were patrolling near the shipping lanes. Projectile: an object fired at a target. The vessel was struck by an unknown projectile during the midnight skirmish. Naval: relating to a country's navy. The commander ordered a naval exercise to demonstrate the fleet's readiness. Pertains relates to or belongs to something. This new regulation pertains to all foreign vessels entering the port. Ongoing, continuing, or still in progress. The police investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made yet. Expire to come to an end. The current ceasefire agreement is set to expire at midnight tonight. Truce an agreement between enemies to stop fighting. Both sides have agreed to a 10-day truce to allow for humanitarian aid. Fragile, easily broken or damaged, vulnerable. Diplomats are working hard to maintain the fragile peace in the region. Non-starter, a plan or idea that has no chance of succeeding. The proposal was considered a non-starter by the opposition party. Immense, extremely large, or great. The earthquake caused immense damage to the city's infrastructure. Alleged, said to have happened, but not yet proven. The alleged accomplice was seen leaving the scene shortly after the crime. Arraigned, called before a court to answer a criminal charge. The suspect is scheduled to be arraigned in a federal court on Monday. Arraignment, the formal act of calling someone before a court. The victim's family plans to attend the singer's upcoming arraignment. Committed, pledged, or bound to a certain course. The organization is committed to protecting the rights of all citizens. Gruesome, causing repulsion or horror. Police discovered gruesome evidence at the scene of the abandoned vehicle. Dismembered, having the limbs cut off. The report gave details about how the body had been dismembered by the suspect. Decaying, rotting, or decomposing because of bacteria. The odor came from the decaying organic matter left in the storage unit. Impound, to seize and take legal custody of something. If you park illegally, the city will impound your vehicle and charge a fee. Memorial, a statue or structure established to remind people of a person or event. The community held a quiet memorial for the students lost in the accident. Platinum, a precious metal, often referring to a record selling 1 million copies. The artist received a platinum plaque to celebrate the success of his latest album. Disturbing, causing anxiety or worry. It is a disturbing trend to see so much violence in the local schools. Dispute, a disagreement or argument. The two neighbors are in a legal dispute over the property line. Pontiff, the Pope. The pontiff called for global unity during his historic visit to Africa. Ravaged, severely damaged or devastated. The country has been ravaged by years of civil war and economic crisis. Focus, the center of interest or activity. Our main focus should be on providing safety for the children in the area. Lashed, attacked someone verbally in a sharp way. The politician lashed out at the media for spreading false information. Vice, next in rank to a specified official. The vice president traveled to the border to assess the security situation. Catholics, members of the Roman Catholic Church. Millions of Catholics around the world followed the Pope's message of peace. Theology, the study of the nature of God and religious belief. He spent his entire life studying ancient theology and philosophy. Papal, relating to the Pope or the papacy. The papal visit drew massive crowds to the capital city's cathedral. Proclaiming, announcing something officially or publicly. The leader was seen proclaiming a new era of freedom for his people. Equatorial, relating to the equator. The research team studied the diverse wildlife in the equatorial rainforests. Barricaded, blocked something with a barrier. The suspect barricaded himself inside the apartment for several hours. Phenom, a person who is outstandingly talented or successful. The young basketball phenom is expected to be the top pick in the draft. Catapulting, hurling, or launching something in a specified direction. Her latest performance is catapulting her to international stardom. Postseason, the period after the regular season playoffs. The team worked hard all year to ensure their spot in the postseason. Squaring, facing off, or competing against someone. The two legendary players will be squaring off in the finals tonight. Trio, a group of 3 people or things. The famous jazz trio performed to a sold-out audience last night. Prime, main, or of the best quality. The game will be broadcast during prime time to reach a larger audience. Diners, people who are eating at a restaurant. The diners were shocked when a car suddenly crashed into the patio. Curb, a stone or concrete edging to a street. The vehicle jumped the curb and caused a minor accident in the parking lot. Jumbotron, a large-screen television used in stadiums. Fans cheered loudly when they saw their faces on the stadium's Jumbotron. Tackled, seized, and threw someone to the ground. The heroic bystander tackled the suspect before he could escape the scene. Intruder, a person who enters a place without permission. The home security system alerted the owner of a potential intruder. Start having a principal role in a movie or show. The famous actor starred in several successful movies before retiring. Vogue, the prevailing fashion or style or a famous magazine. Her unique style of dress has recently come back into vogue. Grounds, an area of land surrounding a building or used for a purpose. Thousands of people gathered on the festival grounds to listen to music. Dub, given a specified name or nickname. The young athlete was dubbed the next big thing by sports critics.